Square Cow Countdowns. I'm your host, Slash Raptor, and if I do say so myself, this episode is gonna be quite magical. Why, you ask? Well, because we're counting down the top 10 witches and wizards from pop culture, so let the magic begin. I'm not focusing on any particular media format. Books, movies, TV shows, and video games are all fair game. But to keep things interesting, I'm trying not to go with the more obvious choices, and I might take some creative liberties here and there to help diversify the list. My only real restriction is that I can only have one character per franchise. Like I previously mentioned, I might take some creative liberties, but I'll try to stay more or less grounded. For example, if a character can do things that some people might consider magic, then that's really all they need to qualify. And no, Gandalf will not be on this list because I never got into the series, although the movies are pretty cool. Keep in mind that this list is mostly based on my own personal opinion, which will probably be different from your opinions. If you agree with me, great, tell me about it in the comments, and if you don't agree with me, well then tell me about that too. Okay, wands at the ready, because all I have to do is say the magic word and the countdown will start. The magic word is go. I know, pretty clever, huh? Number 10, Miracle Max. Miracle Max used to work for the king, until Prince Humperdinck fired him. Now he runs a shop where he deals in miracles, as his name implies. After Wesley is seemingly killed when Prince Humperdinck drains 100 years from his life, Inigo and Fezzik take him to Max in the hopes of bringing him back to life. Miracle Max reveals, much to everyone's relief, that Wesley is only mostly dead. He works his magic and creates a pill that will bring Wesley back to life. Max originally refused to help Inigo without being paid until he learned that Wesley would hopefully go on to cause Prince Humperdinck great humiliation by stealing Buttercup away. Max might be more of an alchemist than a real wizard, but bringing people back from near death is pretty magical, earning him this spot on the list. Number 9, The Blair Witch. Known for catapulting the found footage genre into the mainstream, the Blair Witch Project has become a staple in the horror movie genre thanks to its inventiveness. A true piece of psychological terror, the film has 3 friends get lost in the woods where legend has it the Blair Witch preys on unsuspecting victims. Though most of her powers and influence are left to the imagination, it's for that reason alone that this witch is so terrifying. Sure, you never actually see the Blair Witch in the movies, but isn't that a true test of her power? She's able to take unsuspecting victims, drive them mad, and then cut them down all without ever showing her face. If you ask me, that makes her pretty intimidating. Number 8, Jafar. If Disney was trying to surprise us when they revealed that Jafar is evil, they failed epically. Everything from his design to his voice just screams villain, like Scar from The Lion King. Jafar is the court vizier and the Sultan's primary advisor, but he has a staff that can brainwash people, which he uses repeatedly on the Sultan to further his goals. Then he disguises himself as a creepy old man and hires Aladdin to swipe Genie's lamp from the Cave of Wonders. But Jafar gives in to his delusions of grandeur when he finally gets his hands on the lamp, and wishes to become the most powerful sorcerer in the world. For about a minute. Then he gets greedy and wishes that he was a genie instead, only to get trapped inside a tiny little black lamp. One of the coolest endings to one of the best Disney movies ever. I really hope Disney knows what they're doing with the live-action remake. Number 7, The Fairy Godmother. Despite her sweet and innocent demeanor, the fairy godmother is actually quite cunning and devious. Although the true extent of her powers is unknown, she was certainly powerful enough to make a compelling villain. She's also a pretty famous celebrity, simply known as the fairy godmother, so we never learn what her real name is or if she's really a fairy, but since her son Prince Charming doesn't have fairy wings, at least that we can see, it could be that she used magic to give herself wings. Well, either that or she drank a Red Bull, because Red Bull gives you wings! Number 6, Phoebe Halliwell. Alyssa Milano is such a babe. What? You want me to go into more details? Fine. Phoebe is the middle sister of the Charmed Ones, a prophesied sisterhood of 3, later 4 witches who descend from the Warren line of witches. They're known as the most powerful witches ever to walk the earth and are dedicated to protecting the innocent and ridding the world of evil. Although Phoebe was often considered the weakest of the Charmed Ones by demons, Due to her powers being more passive than active, she consistently proved them wrong with her formidable martial arts skills and her remarkable spellcasting talent. I wonder if Star-Lord's ship the Milano is named after Alyssa Milano. Number 5. Albus Dumbledore. I haven't seen any of the Fantastic Beasts movies yet, so whatever happens in those can't apply to this list. Dumbledore's Chocolate Frog states, considered by many the greatest wizard of modern times, Dumbledore is particularly famous for his defeat of the Dark Wizard Grindelwald in 1945, for the discovery of the 12 uses of dragon's blood, and his work on alchemy with his partner Nicholas Flamel. Professor Dumbledore enjoys chamber music and 10-pin bowling. He was also a member of the Wizengamot, headmaster of Hogwarts, and the only wizard Voldemort ever feared. I'm not sure if he ever drank any of the elixir of life because Dumbledore was 115 years old. And I still don't like Michael Gambon as Dumbledore. Richard Harris was so perfect. Number 4. Master Yoda. Yes, I know that Jedi aren't technically wizards, but as I stated in the rules, Yoda's incredible mastery of the Force allows him to do things that some people might consider to be magic. As one of the most powerful Jedi of all time, Yoda makes other notable Jedi like Obi-Wan seem like rookies in comparison. I mean, just look how easily he was able to raise the X-Wing out of the swamps of Dagobah. Still not impressed? Then watch how easily he reflects the Sith lightning here. It's never explained what planet Yoda is from, or even what the name of his species is, but they seem to have remarkable longevity, as Yoda was almost 1,000 years old when he died. Say what you want about the prequels, but me, personally, I would score every numbered Star Wars movie a 10, and then from there, arrange them from worst to best. That might make a good countdown, although until they announce another trilogy, it can only be a top 9 list. Number 3. Doctor Strange. I would have put Doctor Strange at number 1, but that seemed like a cop-out to me. But he did rank higher than Yoda, and not just because he's actually a wizard, whereas Yoda is a Jedi. I've never read the comics, so all my knowledge of Doctor Strange comes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Doctor Strange was once a highly successful, yet notably egotistical surgeon. He endured a terrible accident that crippled his hands, which led him to evolve in ways he could never have foreseen. He now serves as the Sorcerer Supreme, Earth's foremost protector against magical and mystical threats. And until Thanos took it from him in Infinity War, he was also the keeper and guardian of the Time Stone. When I first watched Doctor Strange, I was expecting Stephen Strange to be British, since Benedict Cumberbatch is British, but I was wrong. Such a great movie. Number 2. Willow Rosenberg. Willow was introduced to the forces of magic by attempting a complex spell to restore Angel's soul. To her own surprise, she tapped into considerable power during this ritual, and would come to practice witchcraft. Willow was quick to grasp basic spells, and with support from her girlfriend Tara, her powers blossomed even more rapidly, as did her self-confidence. Milestones in her magical career include the Enjoining Spell, resurrecting Buffy, and nearly ending the world. Yeah, she kinda turned evil for a while, but she's back to normal now. She even used the Scythe to activate all the potentials in the world, creating an army. I'm just lucky I never saw American Pie until after I finished watching all of Buffy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to look at Willow without thinking about this one time at band camp. Number 1. Vivi or Onicia. Vivi is so cool, and he's always been one of my favorite characters in the Final Fantasy franchise. All of the character development in Final Fantasy is phenomenal, but Vivi's struggle in particular resonated with me very strongly, as he delves into the stark, verifiable certainty of his own mortality. This results in him transforming from a meek, fearful, and submissive child who recoiled at the very thought of death into a confident, determined, and gallant young man who accepts reality and lives his life with purpose. It's one of the most effective character transformations in the franchise. Despite his small stature, Vivi is one of the strongest black mages in the series, as he can learn Meteor, Flare, and Doomsday. I also love how they actually made him look like the traditional black mage from the original Final Fantasy. Abracadabra! That was my list. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, why not click the subscribe button? It has the magical ability to make me really happy every time a new person clicks it. Or if you want to watch more countdowns, click this card to be taken to a playlist of all the other ones I've done before. Thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, peace out.